Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paul, and I am a nerd, and you are lucky enough to be here for the May, is it May, Leanne? Yes, it's May. The May 2016, is it 2016, Leanne? Okay. The May 2016 Coffee Pot webinar, where today we are talking about Firm Connect from Legal Anywhere. And as you may recall, if you were here last month, we talked about Legal Anywhere Connect, which is a way to take documents and put them out into the cloud, out into an extranet, and also other information. We were talking about using it with Worldox and Practice Master to take those documents and put them out to share with other people, opposing counsel, co-counsel, clients, whoever might need to have access to those documents who's not tied into your network. Today, we're talking about the flip side. We're talking about a product called Firm Connect, also from Legal Anywhere, and we're joined by Katy Leitch, who's going to show us how Firm Connect works. And Firm Connect is the same sort of a concept, taking workflow and information and documents and putting them in a place where people can access them. But here the point is to put them in a place where the people are that are internal to your environment, your staff, your attorneys, your paralegals, so that all these people have access to an intranet that has all this great functionality to process check requests, to get HR information, to see whose birthday it is today, to see certain documents that are going to be shared with everyone or shared with certain aspects, managing partners, executive committees. Very neat product. But before we do that, a little bit of preamble. Okay, so now I'm going to press the magic button and instantly transform control to Katy Leitch in Portland, Oregon from Legal Anywhere. And while I'm doing that, Katy, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and Legal Anywhere?
Sure. As Paul mentioned, my name is Katy Leitch, and I'm the Channel Sales Director here at Legal Anywhere. And first of all, I'd really like to thank Paul for inviting me and thank all of you out there for joining us today. My general approach is to give a quick background on Legal Anywhere and Firm Connect, and then I'll jump right into the product. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. The more questions, the better. So a little bit about us. Legal Anywhere is located in beautiful Portland, Oregon, and we were founded in the late 90s, and we're the first company to come to market with collaborative software specialized just for attorneys. We remain the market leader in law firm collaboration among firms of all sizes, from solo practitioners to very large global law firms and everything in between. And what's made our products so successful is we only focus on law firms. And as we go through the presentation, I think you'll really appreciate the legal focus of this product. And as Paul mentioned, we have several products, but today I'm going to focus on Firm Connect, our turnkey intranet solution that helps law firms centralize internal information like IT help desk tickets, check requests, employee directories, that sort of thing. And our flagship product is our client portal, or extranet, and it's designed for you to facilitate collaboration securely with people outside of the organization, whether it's a litigation matter or more transactional matter. So we saw some of our clients that were doing a lot of things on our client portal, Legal Anywhere Connect, that are intranet types of things. And this is because what's happening out there in the marketplace is law firms only really have two options for an intranet. They can purchase Microsoft SharePoint and spend a ton of money on licensing and spend even more money on hiring software developers or even an outside vendor to go build the intranet. And this is very expensive and time-consuming, and most firms just don't have the appetite for this type of approach. So it leaves firms with tools for basic published sites on WordPress or a very basic internal website that doesn't really offer the intelligent forms and workflow or other benefits that you typically would like to see in an intranet. So we introduced Firm Connect, and it's designed to allow law firms to very quickly roll out an intranet with no software development. And we offer out-of-the-box pre-built workflow apps as part of the solution. And this allows your firm to pick and choose which ones you want as part of your intranet. So this means you don't have to build the apps from scratch. We also provide content with intelligent workflows that you can adapt as well. So again, we provide all the tools to get there right out of the box. And again, you just pick and choose what apps you want. In very little time, you're up and running. So I just jumped into the Firm Connect demo site. And Simpson, Green, and Bates, this happens to be a fictional law firm, by the way. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the general structure that you typically see in law firms employing. And based on the firm size and culture, what may be interesting to one firm isn't necessarily interesting to another firm. Intranets are often very customized, so I'm going to give you an overview of how our system is set up and also show you some of the workflow apps that we offer that are pre-built or pre-canned. And remember, when I click on one, say for example, this check request portal, it doesn't mean that you have to use it, because you may think, well gosh, we already take care of that in such a system and I don't really want that. That's fine. That's why we have a library of pre-built workflows so you can just pick and choose what makes sense for your law firm. So over here on the left is our navigation bar, and this is very straightforward. And most firms will have, say, a firm management side, and actually larger firms will have an executive committee area. And even smaller firms will even have a partner area. So only partners get access into this area. So if I click on the Documents and Forms portal, this might be a place to share, say, financials or associate reviews and partner meeting minutes, maybe even office lease information, that sort of thing, that you would want the partners to have access to, but nobody else. So the idea behind firm management is that only the executive and partners of the firm will have access to this area, and many firms take advantage of this. So also is the departments portal, like accounting, business development, marketing, firm, human resources, and the IT department. And then we have the practice groups, and this will often have their own area, like maybe your corporate group, your litigation group, mergers and acquisitions, etc. And then firms with multiple offices will also have an office location, and each office could have their own intranet page as well. But I don't have that in this particular scenario, but I think you get the idea. So the departments area is generally the meat and potatoes of intranets, because the pain points that Firm Connect solves is making commonly accessed information very accessible to people within your firm. So if you're putting things on a Windows file structure, things can get lost. People just can't find them. And so they're always, looking for like HR forms or things of that nature. And that's one of the pain points. The other pain point is automating routine tasks and functions within a firm. And some of these processes are being done manually. But with Firm Connect, they can all be automated. So I'm going to jump into the human resources and jump on the home page here. And what you're looking at is a customizable home page. And you can do whatever you want with this space. Some firms make it a lot more graphically pleasing, and some firms put a lot of content in here. And we provide links into your common HR workflows or apps that a firm might want. So here, what you've got, are the most recent news. You've got firm travel and vacation schedule. And I'll go through some of these pre-built workflows that we pulled from our app library for today's demonstration to make available here. Again, you can pick and choose which apps that your firm wants to use. So if I click on Documents and Forms, this might be a place where you could store static forms or documents like an open enrollment form or paper forms that people need to fill out and send directly to maybe their 401k provider. You could also have your healthcare provider forms here, the firm's policies and procedures, maybe the handbook, training materials, that sort of thing. So again, all those things that you want to give people quick access to. Then upcoming events or calendar, you could possibly, post maybe new employee orientation or maybe upcoming blood drive, all the things that are HR related and HR typically wants to share with people. Worth mentioning also is that each intranet location has their own calendar. But as a user, I could come up here and click on Show All, and it would bring all of the calendar events across the whole intranet that I have access to into one view, and this is really handy. Our system also integrates with Outlook, so you can grab events from your calendar and quickly publish them up to Firm Connect. And then within announcements, you might put, say, the client Christmas party, congratulations to our new partners, you know, a monthly blood drive information. Again, those things that you want to quickly give access to your employees. Then external resources, gosh, this is a place to maybe share websites. So if you want to provide web links to resources that you want your employees to have access to, like healthcare related sites or other sites that might be useful to your employees. And then we also have full text searching capabilities within the system to make it very easy to find things. Now I'm going to go back into some of the workflows here and talk about, I like this one, the open market. This is kind of fun, and it's really popular. So every firm in the world has employees that send out an email to everyone and say, hey, everyone, you know, my daughter's looking for a bike, or I want to sell my car, and my daughter only, you know, is willing to pay, for example, $50 for a bike. You know, does anyone have one for sale? You know, that sort of thing. And this app was built to help facilitate that so you could offload it from email. And this is one of those apps that have been, as I mentioned, very, very popular. And then the CLE Tracker, this could be used for lawyers within a firm. They can come in here and track all their CLE credits, and this can all be customized by state. So it tracks ethics, practical or general credits, and that sort of thing. Then we also have what's called Firm University, and this is for training. So as a person of the firm, I can come in here and see what classes are available, and I can sign up for them as well. So if you're doing any of what I'm showing you manually through email or even a paper-based form, can you see how having a system like this might make it really easy for you to automate these routine and administrative tasks? And remember, you don't have to use everything that I'm showing you, because you might have, say, a really nice HRIS that you outsource. And so you may not want to use, say, the time off request. But, you know, you don't have to, say, have a help desk tool or an issue tracker, but you could, and then you can just pick and choose whatever you want. So the time off request, this is pretty self-explanatory. So you would just fill out the form, you know, with the type of time off that you're requesting, the dates, and this actually has a workflow built in. And once I hit the submit button down here, presumably it's then sent to my supervisor for approval. And once it's approved, I'll probably be notified that my vacation time has been approved. And then it might go to someone in the accounting department to put on a calendar or whatever. So it's, again, a workflow to manage the time off request. And what's really useful is that the intranet portal is built on a SQL server, so there's actually a database that tracks all requests. So if I'm a firm administrator, for example, I can go in and see maybe what word processing requests have been made and see how many requests there are, how many have been completed, you know, that sort of thing. So I'm going to jump into the IT portal here, jump on the home screen here. So here you could store all the training materials, maybe in the documents and forms area. And from a security perspective, you can give access to only those people that would have access to, say, maybe the backup procedures or the disaster recovery that only certain people in the IT department would get to see. Whereas maybe firm-wide folks would get to see the telephone system and or other things that are generally available. And for IT, there are some pretty neat tools that some firms probably aren't doing a very good job with. For example, the IT contract manager, this is a tool that can help the firm manage all of its vendor contracts. And then you can have workflow built in where it sends an email, maybe 60 days before a contract is up for renewal. Then the system will notify the firm administrator by email as well as the IT manager. So nothing falls through the cracks and auto-renews, and then you're stuck with a vendor for another year. Then the help desk request, this is another popular one. So you would just fill it out, and submit it, whatever the nature of the issue is. And there's workflow that's also built into this. So then it would be routed to the person that's supposed to help me with whatever the issue is. And this can happen even if IT help desk service, I forgot what I was talking about for a moment, is outsourced to a vendor. So also based upon whatever the issue is, sometimes in a firm, if it's a copier issue, that might be a different person than someone who might help me with an application issue like a Word or Excel. So the system is smart enough to know who the workflow should go to. So again, an IT manager can come in and see all the outstanding help desk requests, what's been requested, who it's requested for, who's responding to it, does it need to be escalated, etc. And there's an audit trail for help desk tickets for all the requests that have come in. So, and then we've got I want to talk a little bit about our software inventory. We also have a hardware inventory app, but the software inventory tracks all of your software in the firm, like the software licenses, serial numbers, the number of licenses, and which machines or equipment that it's installed on. So, so your firm would know, where the software is being consumed or if you have any available. There's also an equipment checkout list, or rather a request. So if I'm a lawyer and say I'm going out on the road and I might need a computer, I've got my own tablet, so I need a laptop or whatever. So I can come in here and check out the equipment that I want. I can have the desired pickup date and the time, and then I hit submit, and someone from IT might be notified that I need this equipment on this date and this time. This can also tie into the hardware inventory, so if the firm would know if there was enough equipment actually to check out. So I'm going to go back into the business development and marketing home, or go into the business development and marketing home, and I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of the portals up here, like the client intake form. So this is a popular app, and it can be used for conflicts checks. So if I'm a lawyer and I have a prospective client, I would come in here and fill the form out, and once I hit submit down here at the bottom, this will be routed to the person that runs the conflicts, and once they approve it, then I'll be notified via email that I can start working with a client, and someone in accounting could be notified too that there's a new client, and please add them into the system. And again, this is a totally customizable form, so you don't have to use all the fields here. It's totally up to your firm and what you needed. So with this particular system, again, we provide all the pre-built workflows, and you can customize them and even build them your own, or you can have us build them. Again, it's totally up to whatever your firm needs. Then we have also the, let me get back to here, the check request. Let me see, where is that? That's going to be down here in the accounting department. I'm going to jump into this and talk about a couple of the portals. Here we go. So we've got a check request. This is another popular portal. So if I need a reimbursement, I can come in here and fill the form out. And it's an intelligent form and has a built-in workflow. So it would be sent over to somebody for approval, and then it goes to someone in accounting, maybe for disbursement to the employee. So that's the idea behind the check request. Also in each area of Firm Connect, I think it's worth mentioning that they have their own calendar, and it can be very dynamic to make it very proprietary. And you can use whatever parts of the intranet that you want, that you think would add value to each area. The whole point of Firm Connect is to provide a self-service area that employees would have access to, like their medical forms or their 401k information, and also the workflows that are important to them and make it more convenient for them. There's also a social element of Firm Connect. For example, we welcome Katy Leitch, that has just joined the law firm today, or congratulations to our partner Mary Martin, that has just won a huge case, that type of thing. And then within the practice groups, for example, the corporate group, it's really common for them to have a precedent library. And this could be maybe where you would have all approved forms here in this area rather than having the lawyers hunting down a document that might be buried in a document management system. And this makes it really easy for lawyers to access all the forms on the intranet in one central location. Another thing a lot of firms are using now is a database used to track and rate their experience with experts, arbitrators, mediators, judges, etc. And a lot of lawyers send email back and forth asking, hey, has anybody ever worked with Bob Johnson as an expert witness for this type of case? What do you know about him? That sort of thing. So rather than sending a bunch of emails and wasting time, you can actually put it in here with a rating of Bob Johnson or whoever has been used. And now the firm has a collective database with a rating system. So if a partner goes in to hire an expert witness, there's a firm database of who they've used and the collective experiences with him, her, or whoever. And then there's the expert blog within the practice area. So you might have people that practice in different areas of the law, and as a service to other lawyers, they might keep them up to date of what's going on in that area of practice. So that is a very quick demonstration of our Firm Connect. What I just showed you is the structure of Firm Connect and how your law firm could use the intranet as well as the workflow that's behind it to manage and automate your firm's processes. And with Firm Connect, you can very quickly have the structure set up, but you can also build the workflow that's behind it. And also worth mentioning is that we have integration with some of the leading document management systems like Worldox, iManage, and OpenText right out of the box.
It seems a lot like a practice master approach to matter management, but for managing the firm itself and the employees and all the information that you want to get them to. I'm very impressed with the customizability and the flexibility of it, because as you say, one firm is not going to be the same as another in what they want to present to their employees in an intranet. Mm-hmm. I have a question, or Leanne tells me I have a question from Rhonda about cost. Is there a set cost? Is it by the size of the firm? How does that work?
Yes, good question. It is actually based on the number of attorneys in the firm, regardless of the number of support staff. So for example, if there was a 20-attorney firm, the monthly price would be $400 per month, and it's billed annually.
Gotcha. Okay, and then I'm sure people can get in touch with you if they have specific questions about what it can do, what it can't do, and what it might cost for their size firm. How would they do that?
Yes, absolutely. I just got back into our website here. Here's a number for sales. Feel free to call that number or shoot an email, and I'd be happy to help them.
Awesome. Very good. Now, can you take me back into that open market in the where was that? I think it was
sure.
HR.
Yes, it was.
Let
me get into that.
Open market. There it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like our classifieds.
Right. Hold on one second. 16-foot fishing boat, 19. Chris Reed, 503.
You're jotting this number down.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. That's a really good price for a 16-foot fishing boat. So I'm going to give Chris a call. Okay. Well, Katy, I really appreciate it, and hopefully people will be calling you as soon as we hang up, so find out how much this would cost for their firm. I'm going to switch back over to me real quickly and explain a couple things about where you might go if you want to watch this webinar later. Bear with me while I press the magic buttons. There we go. I'm always at a loss to find where that magic button is today. And so if you are interested in all of our video content, including these coffee pot webinars, this one that we're presenting right now about Firm Connect, you can go to our website at www.attorneycomputersystems.com, and when you get there, you will find a link at the top called videos, and if you drop down the list, or if you click on it, you get an even better description. You will find our 3 virtual user group meetings and our coffee pot webinars. That's where we are right now. These are our 4 live events. So for instance, if we click on the coffee pot webinars, we will find out what we're talking about next month, which happens to be iTimekeep for time entry. You'll also find recordings of previous webinars. Here's the one we're watching right now, which is currently in post-production because we haven't finished it. And if we scroll down a little further, here's the one we were talking about where Katy and I talked last month about Legal Anywhere Connect, which is their extranet product for sharing documents and information outside the firm. So in addition to the 4 live events, which you can register for and view past recordings of here, we also have our pre-recorded videos, the eBites video series, where Mary Jo takes a short topic, usually running perhaps 3 or 4 minutes, and in each of the 3 products that we work with, Worldox, Tapestry, and Practice Master, and creates a little snippet of information each month for each of those products. And we also have our Paul and Mary Jo show, where Mary Jo or I will take a much broader topic and expand upon it in much greater terms, much greater length. It will take 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes to go into great detail about a certain aspect of one of those pieces of software. And so these are all available for you. As I say, you can find out what's coming up in the live events. You can register for them. You can see the prior recordings. And, of course, you can search. So if we wanted to search for Legal Anywhere, there, for instance, is the webinar from last month. So feel free to take advantage of this content. There's lots of it out there. We've been doing this for a long time, and it's available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that's it for this month. Everybody have a great rest of the day, and we will see you in June. Thanks, Katy.
Thank you, Paul.